Hey, what's up, bookworms? My name is Mike, and if you found this podcast, you might be like me, and you might have a love of reading. Now, I felt like it was a good idea to kind of do an introductory podcast to talk about why I'm considering getting back into this podcasting thing. Now, it wouldn't be quite like it was before. And for that makes sense, I kind of got to give you a little bit of a history lesson here. Now, I began podcasting around 2009. I made the switch to YouTube because podcast recording was a little bit easier that way. We didn't quite have things like StreamYard and all those things that make it just so much easier now when you have guests or a co-host. So I decided I was going to go ahead and switch to YouTube. It's much, much easier. I did several podcasts over the years. I began talking about the Houston Texans and Houston Rockets, just doing because I was writing about sports at the time. Then I made the switch to media around 2015 or 16. Did that for like 3 or 4 years with my co-host Danny. And then around 2019, I discovered that there was this thing called BookTube on YouTube. And I, an avid reader, said that is my calling. I think that's definitely something I'd like to do. And I've been doing that now for 4 years to semi-success. As of the recording of this, I'm hinging up around 90,000 subscribers. So I've got a very, very fiercely loyal audience. And I feel like this was a good idea to kind of get more stuff out there. Now, I want to talk about the purpose of doing a podcasted version of my YouTube content. Now, there are many viewers who really just listen to my content. Now, what that means is they will open it up in a web browser and they'll minimize it and just kind of listen like while they're at work or they're doing stuff around the house. And I get that. It makes a lot of sense. And I have had a lot of people tell me that YouTube is blocked at their place of employment. So they really have to wait until they get home or find free time to actually watch or listen to my content. So they've actually requested a lot of old podcast versions of my episodes. And I said it was the time it was really, really difficult for podcast hosting and things like that way back when. So I decided I didn't really want to do that. Now they've kind of simplified things. You know, there is Anchor and things like that do podcast hosting for free. It's a lot easier to get your material on iTunes and Spotify than it was even 3 years ago. So I said I could maybe give this a try. I think it's a good idea to kind of maybe give folks a way to maybe experience some of the long-form discussions I have with guests. I feel like they're much more popular in podcasted version than they are in a visual medium on YouTube. And I think it's a good way for people to find older episodes. You know, there are plenty of things I've been doing. Like I said, I've been doing this for 4 years. I do about 4 or 5 videos a week. So there's some stuff that, when people find the channel for the first time, there's lots of stuff that they don't know that I've talked about. Maybe it's easier for them to find it, maybe in a podcasted version, or if they have extra time, just for listening. So maybe they have more time, just to listen, with their earphones than they do, with their eyeballs. I get that. That's going to happen sometimes. I think a big thing is people are going to wonder, does this mean I haven't have any new or exclusive content on here? I don't think necessarily that I would be doing that because I've already got a full plate. I've got a second YouTube channel that I already don't spend enough time with. I think this is really just going to be like an alternate way for you to listen to my content if that's what you want to do. I would include content from both channels. That's Mike's book reviews and Mike's media reviews. And obviously, it's no big deal if someone skips that stuff if they're here just for the books. But I think I would exclude the episodes where you need a visual counterpart. Like, for example, when I do like a book haul, me holding up books and showing them to you, that's not really going to make much sense when it's audio only. So I don't think that would include those over here. But just about everything else, I think I can go back and pull all my archives. Some of my bigger videos I think would work really good on a audio only medium and kind of pull those over here. But look, this isn't a for sure thing, but I'm always willing to give something a try. I'm always looking for ways to kind of expand my audience, get my material out there in more people's ears and eyes and things like that. And I think this is a good idea because there's some discussions and live streams on the YouTube channel that I do delete after a while because everything over there is based off of the algorithm. And if you're not pleasing the algorithm, your channel can easily fade away into obscurity. So I will actually delete a lot of the old live streams if they aren't really pulling numbers or they aren't popular anymore because it does pull your numbers down. But I feel like they could stay on a medium like this. So, for example, like we did reviews, discussions after every single episode of House of the Dragon. And those are the kind of things that are they're exciting when they first come out, but after that, people aren't really listening. Whereas if someone who's watching the show for the first time, they want to go back and listen to that, I feel like, hey, they could have this podcasted version and go back and find something like that if they want to. So like I said, I feel like YouTube is still the optimal way for you to consume my content. So I'm going to implore you to please check out the YouTube channel first if you have that option. This is kind of more of a backup option, or if something of, like I said, if it's just more convenient to you to listen as opposed to watch, I get that. It's great for a backup plan or if it's your only option, but I'm hoping to be able to get these on iTunes or Spotify as soon as possible. There are other mediums I'd like to explore as well, but obviously that's the two biggest ones ones. So I'd like to do that. So I just want to kind of drop a line, let you guys know what is the purpose of this, what I'm trying to do. And if you've never experienced the content before, please check out Mike's book reviews on YouTube and see if I am the content for you. But I doubt very much that you would discover this before you discover the YouTube channel. So thanks for listening, guys, and I hope to talk with you soon.